Hi there, this is Maneesh from PM Pulse, and we bring to you yet another power packed episode from PM Ninja video series. In this particular episode of PM Ninja, I'm going to talk about flashcards. Yes, you heard me right, flashcards. Now, after making the most comprehensive video package in the entire industry, I set upon myself to also create the most comprehensive flashcards in the industry that exists today. To know more about the flashcards, what they are, what they can do for you, and also what is it that we bring to the table in terms of flashcards on our PM video platform. Keep watching. All right, so the very first thing we need to do is access the PM video platform, and that we can do by simply typing pmvideo.pm-pulse.com. When you do that, you'll be met with a home page, and your home page will show up. And of course, there'll be some material here. Right now, we've only got one major category, and that is acing PMP. And I'm pretty sure in a very short period of time, we are going to have tons of categories, right? Anyway, but as we go into PMP, acing PMP, in all there are 64 videos, 34 of them are in PMP Ninja, 35 contact hours, and the rest are in PMP 2021 flashcards. And this is the topic of our discussions today. All right, let's have a look. When you actually click on view details, you would then be taken to this site. Over here, of course, you will first have the video being shown to you, and that will contain the details of exactly what to expect in these flashcards. And as I told you, there are a total of 747 flashcards, right? And everything it does, how the categories have been made, what are the different categories. And I'm going to tell you, some of the categories that you're going to find here are so revolutionary that you would not even have heard of them. And people who have used these flashcards in the past go gaga over those specific categories particularly, right? Not that any part of my flashcards are any the less, because 747 of the most important and often repeated concepts, questions, rules, ethos, definitions that show up on PMP exam all the time, they're all covered here, right? And it's there for the reckoning. And all you have to do is you just go for buy now and fill up these basic information. And once you put submit, it'll show you a summary. And then when you actually say, okay, that's okay. I mean, if there's a change, you can come back to it, make corrections if you made some mistake in your inputs, and then submit again. It'll still show you the summary, and then you'll be taken to the payment gateway. Once you've gone to the payment gateway, if your payment is successful, you will actually be shown a success message, and an email would be shot to you from this particular video platform. And that particular email would contain the access. All right, so now I'm just going to assume that you've already got the access. All right, so once you already got the access, you have to use the access provided to you in the email. Now, the password in the email is generated through system, and that is something that I suggest you to change the moment you actually log in the very first time, because these passwords are secure, but kind of difficult to remember, right? So it's better you change it to equally secure, but something that you can easily remember. All right, having said that, let me actually get into my own account to show you what flashcards look like. All right. All right, there you go. So I already have subscribed to PMP Ninja, and this is the flashcards. This is the topic of our discussion. And now when I say, okay, start training, that's when I see so many flashcards. Just can you see that? So many flashcards, 30 videos with a total of 747 flashcards. Yes, of course, the very first video talks about, okay, what to expect, how to use it, what is the best manner in using these flashcards, how this will actually help you, and how and when to use it the best. All right, so once you do that, you actually get into the flashcards. Now look at it. There is a category of flashcards which is called PMP flashcards general, and they are 443 in total. So you have one to 50, and basically these are sets of 50. The last one is just 43. So the last one is 401 to 443. In total, you have 443 flashcards. Now, these flashcards, they contain, in general, the popular definitions, the popular formulas, the popular rules, the popular tips and tricks that show up on the PMP exam. And basically, it is there to help you speed up, right? And people who have done flashcards, my particular flashcards, have been, each one of them have been able to finish the exams way before the deadline. So they have enough time to review. That's important for clearing PMP exams. All right. So those are the general. But then what I've also done is listen, if you go through the flashcards, and don't worry, I am going to show you the flashcards. So when you go through the general flashcards or any flashcards in the normal speed, well, what happens? Let me show it to you. For example, when I run a flashcard, and I'll start from somewhere in the center. So when you run a flashcard, I'm going to show you something. You have to think of it as an answer, and after some time, I'll show you the answer. Keep them satisfied. What is the general approach towards the stakeholders falling in the high power, high interest quadrant of prioritization grid? Manage them closely. All right, so I think you get a picture that the most important topics, I discuss it and then you see it. But you know, the first time you do it, it's okay because you're trying to think and you might want to do this again a couple of times. But when you get a hang of it, you don't want to move so slowly. It's going to bug you out. This is to get started the very first time, couple of first times, right? You just do it for a couple of times or maybe 3 times. But after that, you'll get bugged because it's kind of slow. Right? Because you want to do it faster. And that's exactly what we have done. Only platform on the planet which gives you the speedy version of the flashcards. In fact, nobody has flashcards on videos anyway. And then if you look at the speedy version, there are no words spoken, right? By now, you would have gone through the normal flashcards, right? And therefore, now I'll just show you the answer question and give you the answer immediately, almost immediately, right? So you should be able to move with it. You should be able to think the answer just about as fast. And just to make it a little more convenient and less tedious, I've also put a very mild music in the background. And if you don't like music, you can actually bring the volume down to low, right? Or, you know, shut down the music, right? So let me currently show you what it looks like. Right, so now you have the normal speed as well as the speedy version, and I've created it for every category. Just think about it. All right, so your time is very valuable to us, and the whole purpose of flashcards is to ensure that your time is something that you end up saving. You become fast, you become really speedy. So that's the whole concept. All right, now let's look at the other categories. One video is completely dedicated to Agile. Every important concept, questions that regularly show up in PMP exams, like information radiators, like burn down charts, right? All of that is provided here. And then, of course, as I said, the first one is the read out version, where I give you time to think, and you might want to do it a couple of times. And after that, you might want to shift to speedy version for much faster. So always go from normal speed, do it a couple of times, and then go to the speedy version. And the same thing happens with ETOs. There are 2 parts of ETOs. ETOs part 1, normal, ETOs part 2, normal, and then both those parts in speedy version. And then we move on to something really, really impressive. This is where scenario questions will be tackled. A lot of people, when they look at a scenario question, they kind of get lost. Okay, what is it this question is really talking about? Which process are they in? Where are they in the project management? People start scratching their brains. And that's the reason why a lot of people, a lot of candidates, they hate scenario questions. I'm going to make that extremely easy for you because I've got a flashcard which only talks about, in fact, in 3 parts, actually, very comprehensive. which talks about, hey, what process are they talking about? So what I do over here is I'll show you a partial scenario and say, okay, if the question is basically talking about this, then this is what they're talking about. That's your answer. Or you should look at answer which is matching this. Are you getting the picture here? Nobody has even thought of this matter, and it's very hard to make, right? So I worked really, really hard to make this. And, you know, being good in marketing and just making a very glitzy video is one part of the story. But the real difficulty is coming out with exceptional content. This is one of them, right? I'm so proud of it. All right. So this will actually make you so good. And not only that, these three parts of what process are they talking about is in normal speed. Of course, you should do it a couple of times, maybe 3 times, each one of them, and then switch to the speedy version. Actually, never miss out the speedy version. And you will realize that your ability to just read a question and get it right, that's is going to improve so drastically. So here's the thing. There are 30 videos on PMP flashcards, 747 flashcards, and covering all the major categories and very innovative ones, covering every aspect of things that show up regularly on PMP Exams 2021. And it improves your speed. However, here's what I'm going to tell you. When should you use it? Well, if you've already done training somewhere else and you do not wish to use my most comprehensive video, that's okay. That's you don't have to spend money twice. That's a waste of money. You already spent it somewhere, and you feel that your speed is not good enough, then this is the best thing for you. And right now, the first 50 users are going to get this very cheap. I'm pretty sure when I put the submit button, you saw the pricing. It is horrendously low. All right. Let's get back. And again, since we have a very strict, not a very strict, but a rather strict security policy here, you must log out every time you finish watching for the day. All right. Thank you for watching. All right, now that you've seen it, I'm pretty sure you're impressed with these flashcards because you've got 2 speeds. One, to do it a first couple of times, and the second is to really use it for mind conditioning and immediate recall, for reviews just before the PMP exam. That's what is known as comprehensiveness. That is what is known as completeness, and that's what we believe at PM Pulse, the very pulse of project management. All right, so the link is already provided. You know where to find it. Go ahead and subscribe. And by the way, if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on any of the videos that I have on this channel, or I announce any new kind of an announcement, because I'll be constantly creating new revolutionary products around project management, not just PMP. Project management is my passion. So go ahead and subscribe to this video channel as well so that you don't miss out anything. And just a request. I never advertise. I never go for paid promotion. I believe in the word of mouth. If you liked it, please go ahead and share with as many people as you can. You'll do me a favor. Thank you for watching and catch you some other time.